Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to have another important economic topic to discuss in this second segment of our breakfast show. And it's a report which was released by OPEC recently. Egypt is currently the fastest growing Arab exporter of liquefied natural gas, according to the report. The report showed that Egypt exported around 1.4 million tons of LNG or liquid natural gas in the second quarter of 2021. Egypt is turning to be the energy hub of the region. To shed more light on this, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone engineer Mustafa Wali, our economic expert. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you.
Sir, would you please, if you want to elaborate or shed more light on this report and its importance by OPEC to announce that Egypt is now the fast growing source of natural gas to the region, and we are going also to speak about the Egyptian efforts to have more cooperation in this field with the EU.
First of all, OPEC is a very important organization when it comes to the oil and the energy sector at large, and of course it's related to the Arab country. So when we have such a report, which is actually supported by the actual figures of all the concerned parties, it's very impressive and very promising, and this will give a lot of aspiration for more to come in the future, inshallah. The most important thing is that if we look why this has happened, you will find a lot of positive or very important positive indicators about the status of the economy and the actual work in Egypt. That there are two complexes for liquefying gas, natural gas in Egypt, and both of them are very, very big actually, and they could be the only two liquefying plants in the whole area. The total capacity of these two complexes could reach up to 12 million tons, and that's actually could be considered as 15% of European Union demand yearly. And in this case, we can say that we, in the neighborhood and the closeness to Europe, and plus another technical and important feature of liquid gas, natural liquid gas, is that it's preferred by the destination which is using and demanding it. So this will boost more and more of this business, thanks to Zohra and thanks to our effort of developing the production of one of the biggest and the most important gas field, Zohra field.
To add to what you're saying, sir, His Excellency Minister of Petroleum, Engineer Tar El-Mullah, had very important meetings recently, on top of which was with Qadri Simpson, Commissioner for Energy Affairs of the EU. And during the meeting, it was announced that the EU aims to strengthen cooperation with Egypt in the field of energy. How do you see this as sending a message to the whole world that really Egypt is going to be the energy hub, not only in the Middle East or not only to export our natural gas to the Arab nations, but moving to Europe through the Mediterranean?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is an established fact now, and is going to be more by time felt by everybody. Let's not forget that the East Mediterranean Gas Forum, which is actually representing all those who are concerned by in the natural gas of the Mediterranean, the headquarters is in Egypt, and it was Egypt's idea that to have this, and so we are in the heart of the show and in the heart of the business. And I'm sure that those who are concerned about their to maintain a continuous supply of their most important item of economy, which is the energy, and in this case we are talking about natural gas. They want to secure to the best their supply. We could be a very important factor in maintaining this supply because, as you know, Russia is the biggest supplier to the whole world and is the biggest producer, and then of course some other countries, even some Arab countries. But but this is in a certain situation cannot be guaranteed as so closeness or the closeness and being Egypt in the heart and so close to the center of demand in Europe. This makes it very important. Plus also the capacity of production.
Yes. And another important meeting took place between His Excellency Minister of Petroleum, Engineer El-Mullah, and Jennifer Granholm, the U.S. Secretary of Energy, as he invited her or invited the American side to attend the Mediterranean Gas Forum scheduled to be held soon, as you've kindly mentioned. If we are not going to export gas to the United States, but to exchange expertise, it's very important. And to know that we became one of the heavyweight or the big powers in energy, this is another big issue. How do you see this meeting, and how do you see inviting the American side to attend the Mediterranean Gas Forum, sir, to be held soon, inshallah?
Well, look, when those who are concerned about their countries, they are in their top position to care for their country's economy. So they are always seeking to get the best for their countries. Then such relations, developing this relation and getting it to the highest level of representation between countries, like ministers on the ministerial levels and also on the head of state level. This shows that cooperation and exchanging the expertise for the goodness of all parties, which it always will make it a win-win situation.
A win-win situation, yes.
Yes. In this case, you can at least reduce sometimes the intensity of tension and problems in the world, because cooperation in this case will be for the benefit of every partner. I hope this can will be the trend, cooperation, especially talking about energy now we are talking. So let's not forget Glasgow. It's just only a few days ago it finished, and we were, of course, our president, Mr. Sisi, President Fattah Sisi was there, and we were chosen as Egypt to be the host of the next
COP27.
COP27. That's great event. And it has to do also with another sector of energy, the green energy, or let's say the clean energy, or the renewable energy, you name it, which is not fossil fuel. But anyway, this will add again to the importance and the weight of Egypt in this important field.
And we already announced that we are preparing from now for the COP27, which is going to be held in the Red Sea Resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, inshallah. And President Abdel Fattah Sisi gave his directives to accomplish all the projects of Sharm el-Sheikh before there, and even to have all the means of transportation eco-friendly, just to meet practically with all the needs of the environment, and to say that we are implementing on the ground the recommendations of COP26.
Exactly. And we already set an example. We have been in Aswan, which hopefully these days will soon be over. We have one of the biggest solar energy plants in the world. And this shows that we are keen about this. And inshallah, this will be a very good year for us to work seriously, and it's a very good chance for all the concerned parties in Egypt to get together to have a successful and a landmark in the history of the energy, clean energy actually, which is in eminent need now for the world.
Yeah. And sir, as I'm always saying, we cannot separate politics from economy. Now Lebanon is in need for every help, and we did it as usual. Egypt is the big sis. Egypt is the pivotal, or the one who plays a key role in the region, exporting our natural gas to Lebanon in a trial or in an attempt to help Lebanon to pass over this very critical period of its modern history and the meltdown in its economy. How do you see, sir, using our resources, of course, to develop our economy and in the same time to help our brotherly nations?
But if we look it from the first perspective, that this is not strange to the Egyptian mentality or the Egyptian attitude toward its brothers and friends in the area, especially our dear brothers, Arab brothers in Lebanon and in all the Arab countries. And I think even if we have to share what we have, and the history proves this always, regardless of what comes ups and downs, but it's always there. And I'm sure that such spiritual, and such brotherly ties, that's what will make the future better for all of us. I'm very, very pleased when I heard about this initiative. And of course, it's beneficial again. But here, on a very special basis, these are brothers, our neighbors and brothers. Because everybody will be, of course, satisfied. But anyway, we can buy this issue, by this move or this trend of helping our dear brothers when they need what we have. That's something very important.
Amen to that, sir. Very well said. Sir, thank God Egypt, or we, are very rich when it comes to our natural resources, and there are a lot of discoveries which were announced recently. It's not only Zohr, but many other natural gas fields were already discovered in the Mediterranean. And it's our duty, or the homework of us now, is to develop our infrastructure, particularly of our ports, just to be able to be, or to turn really into an energy hub. Damietta, Sokhna, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli was in a very big tour in Suez and the surrounding areas, and he visited El Sokhna port in specific, and Sokhna, Damietta, Al Adabiya, many ports are going to turn to be international ports, to be able to meet with the development of our exports in general, and hear about the natural gas in specific. How do you see taking care of the infrastructure of such ports and to have more ports specifically for achieving this goal?
Well, to give you just a comprehensive answer about the idea, the history will recall this fantastic area which we are living now with all its toughness and the challenges, that the biggest and the most important achievements of the infrastructure at such time is being taken care of to the maximum and to the best standards in the world, covering everything in the infrastructure, and mainly when it comes to roads and outlets for export and import, which is the port in this case, and the roads connecting the hubs of manufacturing and the markets to the port. That is great, of course. That's something, and it's actually approved and acknowledged by many partners with us in the international trade.
Mm-hmm. Sir, the energy issue is a global crisis, and you would find inflation, you would find a hike in energy prices all over the world, by the way. But what we have begun long ago is going to make us a little bit secure of this crisis. And if we are going to have some increase in the prices of energy, it's not going to be a leap or a big hike. How do you see, starting from years ago, how do you see taking into consideration all the time what we call sustainable development, and to look to the future, not only to look at what's going to happen in a year or two? As we speak, we are all the time speaking about the Agenda of Egypt 2030, about 50 years to come, about the coming generations. How do you see this strategy in general and in the energy sector in specific?
Well, the proof is there, and it's for quite some time now. We have a surplus now of the most important energy, energy form, which is electricity. Look at the power generated across these last 6 or 7 years. This is a tremendous figure. The experts know exactly how much does it mean when it comes to economy, when it comes to cost, when it comes to efficiency, expertise, and success. That's great story, and it's actual. The figures is there. And look at the situation. We pass summers now without any interruption of at least what is felt by every house in Egypt.
No outages,
electricity at home, and plus are supplying and maintaining to our industry and all those who need the electricity as a power.
We are building new industrial zones, and we know that we are going to provide the industrial zones or all the factories with all what they need, whether it's natural gas, gasoline, fuel, and thank God we started long ago, and we are not from the countries which were heavily or negatively suffering from the negative impacts of COVID-19. Thank God that this is the strategy of our political leadership and our cabinet. Engineer Mustafa Wali, you are always an added value to our programs. Thank you very much for your input.
It's my pleasure always to be and to hear your voice and see you, and all the best for Nile TV.
Thank you, sir. And by this, we come to the end of this episode of our breakfast show. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates. And for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. You are in the company of my dear colleague Halal Hamalawi and myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching.